I get asked about scale quite a lot with my work, and I thought I'd make a nice little video about freehand estimating, or as we normally call it, eyeballing. When you get yourself a little object and you just think it's fantastic and you want to make a diorama around it or incorporate it into something like a diorama, and sometimes it can be confusing knowing where to start when it comes to scale and building. I thought I would take this opportunity with this bike because I'm going to make a workshop diorama and I'm going to be using this in it, so I thought it'd be a great example along with some other objects to show you how I do the freehand estimating. I'm just going to draw it up on paper for a rough example, but you could draw yours up on cardboard or whatever it is you're going to be using for your diorama. I'm just going to lay the bike down nice and flat against the base. And for an example, I'm going to use the height of the bike next to a picture of a man. And then I take that, and I know it's around the mid of a man. I would assume around a 6-foot man. And then I'm going to go upwards to make the height to roughly where his head would be. It doesn't have to be 6-foot kind of guy, just an average man height. And then I take the height of a man in a door. You can just Google these images and you look at that image and you think, okay, there's the man. And now I'm going to make the height of the door just above the man. It doesn't have to be an exact door measurement, just roughly what you think it might be. And that's the whole, freehand estimating, eyeballing. So now I assume that is the height of the door. I'm going to roughly put in the dimensions of a door. And there I have a door that is the very close dimensions that would match this bike. And now for a window, I mean, it depends on if you're replicating a building or you're just making it up like I am right now. Windows are usually around the base of it, half the height of a door. And you can just mark that out if you're making it up out of your head. If you're going off an actual building, you'd probably want to start measuring the building, an image of the building. Once you've got the door in, you can just measure in from there. It's quite easy. And just pop a window in with a rough guesstimation. It's obviously lower than the height of the door. And then you have a really nice, quick, rough idea of, the front of, say, a workshop. This may not be 100% accurate, but for people like me who don't measure anything, this is very, very workable. For something a little smaller, you can just do the same thing. Just place it onto the base of the paper. The wheels look a bit off because the camera is closer with this, the shape of this car. But I'm going to guess again by using an image from online with a man the height of the top of a same model sort of car as the one I'm using. And then you can see that you could draw just the marking of where you think he might be. He might be a little bit tall. And then you do the same thing. I mean, this one is smaller than the other one, so you have to take that into account. But where you think that might be above the height of the man's head, and then draw it in again. I'm guesstimating the width of the door again. When you build though and you put a frame around the door, it does alter it anyway. Sometimes a little bit too big is a good thing. And now with the window, I'm just going to go halfway down the door. Just for the sake of the visual on this, so you can see what it is I'm guesstimating. Because the whole idea is just to get an idea of how big a window would be to get you started on a building. You can see here just the rough fill in that it matches. It doesn't quite match. I did notice in the footage that the car, it looks a little off because of the camera angle. The paper, it was aligned with it, but it looks lower. So if I just adjust the angle there, you can see that's how it actually looks. So it is a little bit shorter in the doorway than it was looking like it was drawn up. So it did look a bit too big, but it's not It was just the angle, which I've just adjusted there so you can see. Very pedantic of me. Same thing here now with a chair. A little piece of furniture is a good one. A chair is probably one of the best ones that you could get some dimensions from. Again, it's at the base of the piece of paper, but it looks like it's below it because the angle of the camera and the legs are a little bit forward. Before a window, you have to think about where an arm may rest. Have you ever sat in a chair at a restaurant or something and your arm can rest against a windowsill? So when you think about putting in, say, a window, you can actually align it with the bottom of the back of the chair, which would be across, the broad part of your back. And you could just take that as the height of a window. A really super easy way just to get the measurement in. Just drawing a window as big as you like. Depends on the style of room that you're creating. It really is a fantastic way of getting in measurements without having to search online what measurements actually are for an object. And you can see it would sit beneath the window at the correct height for a chair. Just that little area to rest an arm. Of course, that would be an adult and not a child if you're doing measurements like this. If you're doing things for children's furniture, it would be different. For a toilet, it's about the same dimensions as a chair, I'm pretty sure. I've sat on one a couple of times and I'm pretty sure it's about the same dimensions as a chair. See how it sits beneath the window like that? But the cistern would probably be in the wrong spot. If you had a window, you'd probably have it a little bit higher, though a sink would sit below it, below the actual window frame as well. But you could work that out if you were drawing up, dimensions for a bathroom. I've got this little horse and cart thingy that I got a long time ago. I'd like to make a diorama, and the dimensions to figure this out, it did come with some little tiny people, and I would use this little tiny man here. And again, if I want to make the building, I would create a door. I would get a big piece of cardboard and draw the door in first, and then draw my design all the way out from that door, knowing that it would be correct just because of the size of the little man who would fit nicely and neatly inside the doorway. Great idea to use little figurines for doorways as well if you want to make a design from something like that. A larger car like this, when I created the diorama for this, I drew in the doorway. It's the first thing I did by using the dimensions of the car, or the guesstimation, the eyeballing. All these objects, you can use anything, and all you have to do is just create a doorway. If you're making something natural or unnatural, you're making trees and medieval things, it's going to be different. It's going to be completely, different from a regular building that you would find with these modern objects. But I suppose this tutorial is just for if you want to do something, like a World War II diorama or a workshop diorama or a doll's house or something like that. These eyeballing sort of techniques are perfect for that. And if you don't have anything else, if you could always have a little tiny figurine, that is your starting point. All about the doorway. Everything I do starts with a door, no matter what I'm building. If I have a doorway in it, I know exactly how big my building's going to be, and I know exactly how to make the dimensions and make everything look really cohesive and in the right dimensions. I hope you found this tutorial useful, and I do hope to see you next time.